All right. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the show. I'm your man, KTJ, and this is our show. We talk about how men think when it comes to dating, relationships, and love. And today we're talking about why men are so slow to commit. So you guys come on in here. I want to encourage you, go ahead and drop your questions in the comment section. We're going to just get into it and get going with it. So I'm glad you guys are all here. I'm just doing a few more things to just make sure we all are together. I got my TikTok audience who have jumped in here and joining me as well. So this is going to be a good talk today. So go ahead and get comfortable. I would love to hear your questions. If you're ready, if you got questions, comments, all of that, I'm glad to have you on with me today. So if you could, let me know you guys are here. Let me know where you watching the show from. I always like to know where the audience is watching the show from as we get going with it. So just check in with me. Let me know that you guys are here with me and you are watching the show. So looks good. Everything's good. So today, you guys, we're getting into it. Today, we're talking about how, why is it that men are less fat, less, they're just not as fast today in discovering, going after what they want for love and all of this commitment, right? A man will go after a woman, the woman that he desires for love and all of that, but it just seems like men are very slow today. So I got 5 good reasons that men are men are finding it difficult to commit. Why is that? And look, I want to hear your comments. If there's some men who are watching this show, I want to hear it straight from you. And I'll even kind of recap on some of the questions, some of the answers that I got so far. I've been having this conversation. Why is it that men are having a tough time with committing? All right. Look, Stacy already jumped out. She said too many options. All right, too many options. That some of that may be true as well. But I you know what? I see that option question differently, and I got 5. So you guys just stay tuned for. Let me drop these 5. And look, while you stay in tune, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button, then hit the bell so you don't miss anything. If you come on the YouTube side of things, if you're watching on the Facebook side, come on to the YouTube side, and I would love to put you up on the screen, but I can only do that through the YouTube side. All right. So we got a lot of answers over here. Insecurities. What's going on, Trent? All right. Let's get into it. I got a good number that I want to share with you I got 5 reasons why it's so hard for men to commit. All right. So check it out. Let's look at number 1. My number 1 is he is not ready to decide. So I want to tell you guys, somebody said mama's baby. Look, I want to tell you guys, I was sitting with a tech entrepreneur about almost 15, 20 years ago. And I was sitting down with him. I found out he was in tech. I said, man, look, you got to tell me what's happening. Like, what's the next big thing? 15 years ago, we had Facebook, all of that stuff was cracking. And he said, everything will be catered to the individual. He said, everything's going to be catered to the individual. Don't even worry about it. Everything's going to be centered around you. The algorithm's going to give you what you want. It's going to show you what you like. Everything's going to be centered around the individual. And I'm telling you, didn't it happen? It totally happened. And so it makes making a decision very hard. I remember many years ago, I used to work for Bally's Fitness. It was a fitness place. Y'all don't know nothing about Bally's. But I used to work for Bally's Fitness, and they used to have a 3-year contract. You couldn't join the gym unless you signed a 3-year contract. You couldn't join, and then they did have a 2 years contract, but that thing was so expensive. And guess what? People joined, right? But I've noticed, but look, Bally's is gone because they couldn't compete with that. The less contract because people began to be more and more centered on short-term gain. So that's where we are with it, right? So if a man is not ready to decide, he's not ready to commit, he just won't. All right. Trent said, relationships are emotional, spiritual, and financial investments. With that being said, people seem to be asking more questions before they invest in someone. Asking a lot of questions. Good comment there. Hey, Regina, how are you, lady? Thank you so much for popping in. So on the TikTok side, Tina Brooks, she said they think they missing all the other women. Let me grab that are single. So my man got a lot of options. Essentially, that's what we say. He's not ready to settle in on one option. All right. And look, you guys who are on the Facebook side, go ahead and drop your comments. I want to hear what y'all have to say about what you think. Why do you think it is so difficult for men to make a decision on a woman? Why is it so hard for men to commit in today's time? All right, let's go on. Let's go on to number 2. Hey, more for more. She said, "I'm here to listen." Yes, she want the juice tonight. Well, I'm gonna give it to you. We're gonna give it to you. We're gonna give it to you. All right, so here we go. Number 2. The second reason that men are finding it hard to commit is he doesn't want to make a mistake. Now, let me just put a pin in this right now because there's somebody who's watching this who are saying like, well, Cal, what do you know, Cal? Why are you talking about this? Well, I can remember I spent over 17 years in the social work business, working with males. You know, if you're a male coming into social work, they stick you with the male population, which is the majority, right? And I can remember sitting down with men, even with boys, right? I used to do in-home counseling, going to people's houses. And you want to talk about some coaching? Look, if you want to talk about some real coaching, try going to somebody's house to do the counseling. That you go there and you see all kinds of stuff. I went there. That's the first time I went and I saw a TV the size of the wall in the projects. I couldn't believe it. I never saw a TV that big inside of a house. It was literally the size of giant size. That TV had to be 100 by 100, but it was huge. But anyway, so one of the things that I saw is just men, as I'm having these conversations with men, just men struggling with the past, right? Check this out. Struggling with the past. A man sees his mother going through crazy times with the father, right? Young boys watching mom and dad go at it, banging heads, bang, bang, bang. Right? Watching the two going at it. And then when it comes time for him, he is bitter about relationships. You want to know why? How come you not going out and you don't want to get married? No. You don't want to have a family? No. Right? Because they watched the life of someone else in their family. I'm thinking of one in particular, this family that I was with. I went out to do an in-home counseling session, and I remember getting ready to knock on the door. And just before I knocked on the door, I heard the lady say, "I hate you." I heard a voice. It was loud too. And I was like, uh-oh, hopefully this ain't the right house. She said, "I hate you. I hate you." And so I knocked on the door anyway. And there it was. I walked into the middle of an argument with mom and son, and they were at each other's neck. I walked in right on time, and she said, "I hate you." She was talking to her son. Mom is yelling, "I hate you" to her son. And the son is like, in his mind, he understands, wait a minute, you're my mom. You're supposed to love me. What do you mean you hate me? And she kept yelling, I hate you. I hate you. And so what we discovered is that mom was upset because the boy looked just like his father. The boy was the spitting image of his father, and his father was very physically abusive to the mother. He used to throw her down the stairs while she was pregnant. He wanted that baby gone, and he didn't want her he didn't want anything to do with her. So he ended up in jail for like attempted murder or something like that. And so the boy ends up not having a father, but he ends up growing up and he walks like his father. He talks like his father. He has his father's mannerisms, and he barely even knew his father. But now he's faced with this woman yelling, I hate you. So when a young boy, and I often think about this, whatever happened to all those hundreds of cases that I saw, right? I just wonder what happens to a boy like that who has had that kind of example of what manhood is, that example of what love is. Oh, when I got him by myself and we went out to do activities, he would tell me, he said, oh, I just run through all these girls. he said, I just run through all these girls. I said, you run through all these girls? He said, man, look, he said, you can run through them too if you want. I'm like, no, I can't neither. Right. He said, just buy him something from the store and you on. Just like that, so now that was many years ago. This guy, y'all stop laughing. That wasn't funny. That wasn't funny. It was kind of funny, but no. But look, this boy is now a grown man. He's now a grown man and he's experiencing life. I don't know where he is with it. He's probably got multiple kids, but it started with the example that he saw with his mother, with his father. His father set an example for him without actually being there. Isn't that something? So be careful of the example that you set for those who are watching you and your life. Let me grab a couple comments over here. All right. Let's see. Regina said yes. Toxic mothers. They listen, you may not believe that plays a part, but it does play a part in how this all goes. Toxic mothers, definitely. My man Trent said it's all now how the woman presents herself initially. Brothers are becoming more and more wary of women's initial presence. They're becoming more and more privy to what they may be getting themselves into. It's the truth. Italiana, hey, from my girl from Miami. You work with kids too? Okay. You heard it all. I believe it. So let's move on. To number 3. And again, if you guys want to jump into on the YouTube side, type the Love Coach in YouTube, and my pretty little face will show up, and you guys can come on and leave your comment on YouTube, and that'd be good too. All right, number three. Hey, S. Davis, look, drop that comment in the Q&A box, and I'll definitely address that when I get to the end of this. Drop your, if you guys are on TikTok Live, drop your comment in the Q&A box, your question in the Q&A box, and I will address it from there. All right, so let's go. Holding out for his ex is the third reason that men don't get into relationships. The third reason that it's so hard for men to commit to relationships. Sometimes he's holding out for his ex. Sometimes there's a woman somewhere. It might be his last girlfriend. It might be the man's girlfriend before that. It might be a woman that he was never in a relationship with. And he's just kind of hoping. He's just kind of hoping. Look, I can remember being a young kid, right? And my family was good friends with another family. And my mother and this family, the mother of that family was like sisters. And they had a daughter. She was the only child, and she was super spoiled. Now, me and my two brothers and sister, like we when you got kids, you got to share everything. And I remember seeing her. She was so beautiful. I was saying to myself, and I think I might even said it out loud, I'm gonna marry that girl. I'm gonna marry that girl. Well, life went another way. And she got married, and I got married, and everybody got married, and just forgot about it. But when I just mentioned that just now, it just reminded me of that fact that I said when I was a little kid that I was going to marry this girl. There are some people who are holding out for an ex that they never had. Some people are holding out for an ex that they've never even had in their life. Some men are holding out for the ex before the ex. They holding out. Look, I know a guy that was holding out for a woman who has passed away. She's not even alive. And he's still kind of holding on to the possibility of him finding somebody like her. Now, let me tell you something, you guys. Look, we got to talk about this right here because, listen, for the guys, you can't be holding out for an ex, looking in your rearview mirror, hoping to get somewhere going forward. You can't go forward looking in your rearview mirror. Hey, look, who's that? Georgian Prescott. Drop that comment in the Q&A. I'm definitely going to answer that. If you got any questions, you guys on TikTok Live, drop your comments down in the comment section. All right, Trent, my man Trent said, if you want to know the truth of a man, look at the mother who raised him. Boy, you talking good. So sometimes a man is holding out for his ex. That's number 3. Holding out for his ex. His ex don't really want him, but he's holding out for her. His ex isn't even thinking about him, but he's holding out for her. Yes, and he miss an amazing woman. All right. You guys hit that share button. Hit that share button. I need everybody to hit that share button right now. All right. Let's go on. Number 4. Number 4, the fourth reason that a man is slow to commit. The fourth reason a man is slow to commit is he doesn't see you in his future. He doesn't see you in his future. When he thinks about the future, he doesn't see you in it. Now, let me tell you something. A man will actually stay with you. Which I mean, y'all don't see the Q&A box. It's there. Drop it in the Q&A box. It's right there on the screen. If a man doesn't see you in his future, sometimes a guy will actually stay with you. A man will stay in a relationship with you and not see you in his future. Hey, smooches. A man will stay with you and not see you in his future. A man will go have a life with you, A man will maybe even have a baby with you. A man will do all the things, but sometimes he will not. He won't do it. Yeah, y'all say the Q&A box is not available. That's interesting. Okay. All right. Well, I'll have to try and swipe up and catch all of those comments. Did they change something? They must have changed something. All right. So let's move on. So let's talk about this. He doesn't see you in his future. When he thinks about the future, when he thinks about where he's going, when he thinks about what it's all about, he doesn't see you in his future. Hey, Regina Sunshine. What's up, lady? He doesn't see you as part of that. He doesn't see you in the picture for his life. Now, some guys actually will stay with you because he might be waiting. I hate telling all this stuff. I hate letting all these little secrets out, but it's so true. He might just be waiting for something better to come along. You ever see those men who be with a woman for 7 years and won't marry her, and then see somebody else and then marry them after 7 months? And you saying to yourself, wait, what? Wait, what? I thought you didn't believe in marriage. I think you was with this lady for 7 years and 3 kids. And just like that, bam, over there. If he doesn't see you in his future, these things happen. Okay? If he doesn't see you in his future, he will not commit to you. Who's that? Dottie? Dottie Love said, yes, my son did this. It's the truth. It's the truth. What's up, Isonia? She said, laugh out loud, I just had this conversation with my ex. He's afraid of commitment. Well, you know what? Sometimes an ex being afraid of commitment sometimes that's good. Sometimes it's bad. I hope he did some work first before he just decides to come back. So you got to make sure the man did the work he needed to do. Look, somebody got a good question over here. So Ben Affleck doesn't see J-Lo in his future? Well, I think they're trying to get married or something. Something happened. But I can tell you this. He look, they found their way back to each other. It's a beautiful story. Hopefully it works out. Okay. So you said he's working on it. Okay, good. Good. Oh, yes. Look, Artemis said, I don't like commitment too. Listen, there are just as many women who have fear of commitment, don't want a commitment, just as many as men. I just so happen to have a background in working with men. And so this is what I'm talking about. All right. So if he doesn't see you in his future, then he will not fully commit. I did a video not long ago answering that question. How do you know if a man sees you in his future? I did a video on that. And one of the things that I said on that is the language. The language will tell you if a man sees you in his future. The language. It's in the language. Samuela, Sanella, sometimes he won't tell you. But his language will betray him. It's the language. What's the language? What's the language? The language is us. We can go to San Diego. We can go to Hollywood. I've made plans for us. We. together. All those words lets you at least know that a man sees you in his future. Whether that continues or not, that's a whole nother thing. But it does definitely mean that he sees you in his future. All right. All right. All right. Let me go on to the next. Number 5, the 5th reason that men don't commit. The 5th reason that men are slow to commit is you are not the one he wants to commit to. I'm going to take a sip on that. Y'all hit that share button. Hit that share button. You are not the one he wants to commit to. Now, listen to this. Sometimes there is a woman that a man wants to commit to, and sometimes there isn't. Look, for some men, he wouldn't commit to anybody, even if it was his favorite star from Hollywood. He still wouldn't commit to her because commitment is not in him. If it's not in him, he's not going to do it. But sometimes there's a woman that he will commit to. He just hasn't met her yet. And if you're hanging out hoping for he changes, oof, tough sledding. Tough sledding. But you are not the one he wants to commit to. And if a man doesn't want to commit to you, guess what? You can't talk him into it. You can't back him into it. You can't ultimatum him into it. If he doesn't want you, he doesn't want you. Now let me give you guys something real quick. And then I'm gonna go down this list. I'm gonna go down the list in just a minute. So I had a client who said that she was seeing a guy who had commitment phobia. Give y'all a little something here. So commitment phobia there's actually a real phobia called commitment phobia. And commitment phobia is called gamophobia. Gamophobia is an actual real diagnosis in DSM-4. DSM-5 is 5 by now. Gamophobia. It is the fear of commitment. And she asked me, what should I do about this guy I'm seeing who has a fear of commitment? Should I press on? Should I go on? Should I leave? Should I hang around? Should I be hey, DFAB Kara? Hello, my love coach friend. Yes. She's like, should I continue? Should I just be a good woman for him and just hold out? And maybe he'll give me a commitment when he's finished in therapy? She asked me, and I told her, no, absolutely not. You are not to put yourself on layaway for anybody. She asked me, she said, he's got gamophobia. He's got the real thing. And what should I do? I said, you should go and start working on yourself. Is what you should do. You should start living the life that you have designed for yourself. You should go and work on you. If he comes around, great. If he doesn't come around, great. But his life, he's working on himself. And the worst thing you can do is try and make somebody be something that they're not. Make somebody be ready for something that they're not. Hey, Tony. Dwayne says she is delusional. Yes. Yes, listen, Dwayne, but listen, if you really want to be with somebody, and a lot of times people get they start to get lonely. Dwayne, they start getting lonely. They start feeling like it's never going to happen. And so you'll do some desperate things if you start feeling desperate. Hey, Tony. She said, oh, yeah. You start doing some desperate things. Yeah, DFAB Kara, she said, he's not for you. Not now and maybe never. Yes, let him go. If it's real love, it'll come back. And that's the truth. But listen, it's easier to say that than sometimes to live it. Because you really want them to be what it is that you want them to be. But people can't. Candy girl, you're right. Loneliness is real, and loneliness will make you do desperate things. Loneliness will make you do some things that you thought that you would never do. Loneliness will make you be with Pookie and Ray Ray, and you're not even a Pookie and Ray Ray kind of person. Right? But loneliness, being in that bed by yourself night after night with no prospects, that can get in your mind. But I want to tell you this. Despite all of these things, and I'm going to run them all down to you guys in just a minute. Despite all of these things, a man has to make the decision that he wants for his life on his own. A man has to make the decision for his life. Now, sometimes a guy will lie and tell you one thing and do another thing. So in that case, you just have to watch the behavior, and the behavior will tell you everything. But sometimes a guy will actually tell you, listen, I'm not interested in a relationship. Sometimes a guy will actually come out and tell you, I'm not interested in a relationship. And you think to yourself, oh, well, we're going to see about that. We're going to see about that. We're going to see how that goes. And you think that you can coochie him to death. You think that you can do all the things, do all the things you want me to do. Because tonight, baby. Yeah, y'all know what I'm saying. But you can't. You can't. Hey, brown sugar. You can't. You can't coochie a man to death and think that that's going to do it. You can't. Because guess what? You're not the only one with coochie. Coochie, coochie, coo. You're not the only one with coochie. Every woman you know, she's got one. So that's not going to work. You also cannot demand a man to love you and to commit to you. You can't demand it. You, what was that song? And I am telling you, I'm not going nowhere. And you're gonna love me. No, that won't work either. You can't demand a man to love you. Look, sometimes men are like cats, right? If anybody's ever had a cat, can you demand the cat to do something? Right? The cat has to be compelled to do something. You see something in it for him, then he'll come. See that yarn? Here he comes. Right? I'm not saying trap him, because please don't try to trap a man, because you'll be trapping yourself. You'll be trapping yourself by yourself. But I'm just telling you guys that you have to make these decisions, but they will ignore you. Yeah. Look, yeah, you could try to trap a man, but you will be the only one that is trapped. Just telling you. Y'all hit that like button. Yes. So let me run these 5 down to you guys, and then I'm gonna jump into some of the questions we got here. And if on the Facebook side, on all the sides, if you have a question, drop your question in the queue in the question box. I guess for some reason they don't have the Q&A on TikTok Live, so I got to go in there and fish for the questions. So here they are. Let me run. Here's the 5 questions, 5 tips, 5 reasons a man will not commit, or a man is slow to commit. Here's the 5 reasons. 1, I'm putting it up on the screen, and you guys who are on TikTok, you can chime in. You can jump in on the YouTube side and check out these tips on, in live and in person. So just type in the love coach and I'll come up. Number 1, he's not ready to decide. Number 2, he doesn't want to make a mistake. He's thinking about the past. Number 3, he's holding out for his ex. He's holding out for his ex. Number 4, he doesn't see you in his future. The reason, he doesn't see you in his future. Number 5, you are not the one he wants to commit to. You are not the one. Yeah, Kara, yeah, you said there is a place. I thought so. There's been a place all this time for people to drop their comments in the Q&A. I'm not sure what's happening, but they said that it's not allowing them to drop a question in there. So, Kara, try to drop a question in there just to let me know that the thing is working right. All right. Isonia said, my Lord. Yes. 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 You are not the one he wants to commit to. All right. All right. So let's grab some of these questions. See if I can grab some of these questions, and then we'll proceed on from there. Somebody asked, are you the one who talked about men remembering perfume you wore the first time you met? Yes, that is me. The scent of perfume, a woman's scent, stays in a man's mind and in a man's eye, and not eye, but in a man's psyche for many, many years. All right, here we go. I got a question here. Why do men make a firm, permanent decision not to commit? This is from Holly Tiffany. Why do men make a firm, permanent decision not to commit? Again, it's these 5 things here. I'll just take this 5th one. He makes a firm commitment. Now, he says it's permanent, but until his life is over, you don't know if it's permanent. They say that most of these men who are swearing off marriage, and many of them have been married once or twice, and say, you know what, I'm not doing that no more. Statistics say all of them will end up being married again. Look, statistics also say that a large percentage of vegans, like 80% of vegans, will return to meat. So then there's that. All right. So don't necessarily take it as a permanent decision. And if it is a permanent decision, guess what? You just might have to move on. You just might have to move on. She Lacey said, well, you can kind of ultimatum him into it. You know what? You can ultimatum a man into a relationship. But is it going to last? Is it going to last? I'm going to invite Kara to come on up. See if she got time to come on up. Yes. Try to catch some more of these questions. Hey, Kara.
Hello. Okay, why is it not showing my picture?
I don't know.
Come on, TikTok.
I don't know. But I got you. I got you on. So talk to me. What's your thoughts on this topic?
Well, it's interesting because a lot of times I think the ladies, we want it so bad, and we want the man to be all the things, do all the things, and we can see our future, we can see it all laid out in front of us, but we have to stop breaking our own hearts and pay attention to his actions and his words. If they don't line up, if they're not consistent over time, then we need to do something differently. We need to move differently. We have to take stock and make a decision like, maybe this is not working. If he's not committing to me after he sees all this fabulousness that I am bringing into his life and he doesn't appreciate it, then he doesn't deserve my love at all. Take it back and give this to a man who deserves it.
Love it, Kara. Well, Kara, just stay around for a minute. I always like having you on my stage in my presence. I always love it. You always bring the best.
I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, I don't know.
TikTok has issues.
Yeah, and then they won't open the Q&A box.
Yeah,
I don't know what that.
It's not working. I tested on my iPad and my phone, and it's not working on either one.
It's not working. Okay. All right, you guys in the Facebook audience, look, you guys drop your comment down below. I want to hear what y'all have to say as well on this. Look, now here's a question that I don't think I've gotten ever, Kara. Check out this question. Angie SASCH79. She says, Kelvin, I just found out that the man I love is slightly special needs. What do you think of that? Wow. Now there's a question. I've gotten a lot of questions.
What's interesting about that? Let me put on my Master of Science in Public Health for a second.
Okay.
Now, what's interesting, and I'll give you something in a different field, but similar. So, a long time ago, in another lifetime ago, I used to work for a long-term care brain injury rehab facilitation facility, which is really big and whatever. But the big key thing there is some of the patients, once they were released back to home, if they were ambulatory, meaning they could walk around and they could function, they would go back into the world. But here's the thing. When I was working there, for example, a young man with a certain type of brain injury might have it where he doesn't have any filter, no impulse control.
Yeah.
We were told, don't get in the elevator with them. So, but the problem is, once he goes back out to the real world, he's not going to have a label on it. Nothing's going to go ahead of him that way. So, once again, there are probably a lot of people that are considered special needs that you may not know because it's
the truth.
Spectrum.
That's true.
It's a spectrum of it. So, just having that categorization, they're quick to label in the school system. I used to be a teacher as well. So, there's a lot of labels. So, it's more about what is the capacity and what does that actually mean.
Yeah.
The label or the term itself doesn't mean as much as the capacity. How is he living? What is the actual special needs? How is it expressed? Because a lot of things that people have and are going around in their everyday lives are undiagnosed.
Yeah.
You may just
Yeah, yes, it's definitely the truth, and it's really difficult to kind of manage that. So you're right. So the way that I see it is that this is still an individual, right? If he's not doing anything that is harmful, I mean, if because look, even special needs guys, people can have good relationships, you know. So I wouldn't necessarily. And she says, "I love him."
Yeah, she said he lives on his own.
He lives on his
So
own.
it's really more important to figure out, are there certain things that maybe if you have a conversation and you find out, so was there anything that they say that you're supposed to do with help? Or are there situations that cause you more stress? And so that you can treat them with kid gloves until you understand it. But the truth of the matter is,
Sheesh.
you might be an individual that just has a diagnosis, but if he didn't tell you, you wouldn't know.
Right. She said, "See, look, she threw a monkey wrench in there and said, but he won't call me." So look, Angie, you need to go ahead and book a session because this isn't something we can handle live on the air and give you a plan and all that sort of thing. So go ahead and book a session. Go to yes, yeah, absolutely. All right, my girl Esonia. Hello. Esonia says she's been married, divorced, only want a companion. Sonia, you're not telling the truth. Sonia, you don't just want a companion, you want a man. Let's be honest. You want a man to snuggle up to on a cold, rainy, stormy night. Stop playing. She said only want a companion. It can be monogamous or we can be open about it. Just enjoy spending time together. Okay.
I think it's interesting about that. So I was talking to a client of mine earlier today, and the reality was the situation she's in. When I asked her, "What are you getting out of it?" She said, "Companionship."
Companionship.
Sonia's being honest about the fact that she wants companionship.
Right. Well, that's all nice. That's all nice, but she's also driving with the emergency brake on, hoping not to crash, but trying to drive a car forward, holding yourself back. You want love. Sonia, stop playing. You want love. and there's nothing wrong with wanting love. It sounds like this is something that you have copped out to. You say, well, you know what? If I can't find love, I'll just take a companion. If I can't find, because I've already, and you said it in your statement, been married, divorced, and only want a partner. So because the other situation didn't work out, now you're bringing the results of that to this and the future, which I think is wrong.
That's not an uncommon thing. There are a lot of women, once they get to a certain point, they are done with the idea of being married again, because research does show that the happiest people are married men, and then right behind them are unmarried women. So it's like you have to kind of counter that with some women get to a stage in their life where they're like,
yeah,
I have a little companionship, I can do that thing.
You're right. All right. Let me see if we can grab a couple more, and then.
My question, I put it in all caps.
Sheesh, Kara, these questions come by so fast. I did see it, but let me see if I can swing up to it.
It might be gone. I don't know.
Sheesh.
Yeah, they're flying.
Yes. I can't even keep up with all these questions.
I can't even find it. Oh wait, I found it.
All right, drop it again. I'll try to catch it.
Okay, hold on.
All right, Ebony Lawrence. She said, "I was married for 18 years, trying to figure out how to start dating again." Ooh, 18 years is a long time. I think I got two things for you. 18 years. You were married for 18 years. You have to, it's almost like detoxing, right? Because there are some married behaviors that you can't bring into being single, right? Look, you're used to being able to just give your all to this one person, right? But when you're single and you're dating, you can't give your all to that one person until they're ready to give their all to you. But sometimes, like, you still have the mentality that, hey, I still want love, and I want to be able to pour myself into it. And some of these people will see you coming and take full advantage.
How long has she been single?
She didn't say.
Ebony?
Yeah, Ebony, how long you been single?
Kelvin, I feel an affinity to her because I was married for 17 years. So
Yes.
that's why I asked the question.
Yeah. It's challenging after, like, being in a serious relationship for a long time, and then now you get out here with these game players. It can be very challenging. Hey, Tia Melvin is in the building. What's happening, lady? So Tara, Kara, I got your question up. Why would a man that has amazing chemistry and connection with me and then pull away because he's scared? I'm gonna take a sip on that.
Excited and scared. Give me that man's perspective.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So
Super new.
yes, so a man is you're feeling a chemistry, you're feeling like this is a connection, you're feeling like this is going somewhere, and suddenly he starts pulling away. Sometimes it's too serious too fast. Sometimes a guy gets kind of gun shy that this thing is moving faster than I want it to. Sometimes it's him actually feeling like this could be something, right? And he's not really sure if he's ready for something. A man, he thought he was ready when he talked about it earlier, but as time progresses, sometimes he discovers, wait a minute, I'm not quite over my ex. Wait a minute, I'm not sure that this is the woman. Wait a minute, what about these other options out here?
He's not scared.
What's that?
Holly says this man's not scared.
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
Yeah. Sometimes he is, and sometimes he isn't. So maybe connected too much as he thought in the beginning. Yeah.
Wait, what was that?
She's Ortiz said maybe he wasn't connected too much as he thought in the beginning. So maybe it felt like he was connecting and that it was going somewhere, but maybe he just wasn't ready yet. And he didn't know how to tell you no. So this is something that men do. Y'all can call it emotionally immature if you want to, but this is something that men do sometimes when he doesn't want to hurt your feelings. You just slowly back up. He doesn't want to, because if he comes and tells you the real reason, what are you going to do? Kara, what are you going to do if he comes to tell you the real reason?
I'm going to say thank you so much for sharing that with me. No, I'm going to act a fool. I'm going to act up. You don't know. It depends on how he brings it to me.
Yeah. You're going to be like, whatever reason he give, you're going to say, that's a stupid reason. That, yeah, you're going to feel some kind of way. Exactly. And he already knows all that's coming. So in order to avoid that conversation, you just slowly back up.
Yeah, I'm trying to control myself of the actual words that I was thinking.
Yeah. I try to keep a clean show over here. Look, I'm working for CBS one day. I'm working for the Hallmark Channel. They're gonna call me one day. All right. So you said it's hard out here. Yes, it's difficult, but yes, it may be difficult to to navigate. But listen, here's the thing. You can't control what other people do. Can't control what how other people feel. You can't control any of that.
Ooh, wait, could you say that again? Because when I say that to my community, I get all kinds of pushback. Ain't nobody want to hear it when I say, maybe you got a little work to do, mama. They don't want to hear it, but they'll hear it from you. Go ahead, Kelvin, say it again.
Yeah. Like maybe you just don't really know, but I'm telling you, sometimes it is you. Sometimes it's you misreading the cues. Maybe you think it's one thing and it's a totally different thing. So I'm just saying, like, it's, you know, this stuff this is love. It's not an exact science. It's part emotion and part logic.
Kelvin, I see two more great questions that came in. One's from Boss Lady 771.
Okay.
She's asking, at what point do you ask if you're exclusive?
All right. At what point? That's good. So the question is, at what point do you ask to be exclusive or yeah, I see. At what point do you ask if you're exclusive? Well, listen, boss lady. You know what, Kara? I think that a woman can ask for exclusivity in a relationship. You know, now it is also definitely better when a man just comes out and asks you to be his woman. But sometimes you can ask, like, you can ask, hey, what do you think? Like, we spend so much time together. We hang out every weekend. Essentially, we're a couple. Like, and I don't want to be out dating. Check this out, Kara. This is what I tell. I tell my clients. I don't want to be out dating all these guys who are in my inbox asking for my attention. I want to give that attention to you. But they keep asking me if I'm in a relationship. And what should I tell them? So it's kind of like it's on him now. It's on him to call, because most guys will say, oh, well, tell them guys to back up because you my woman. Am I your woman? Are you asking me to be your woman? Okay, well.
I'm gonna need you to put that on a cue card so I can read that like verbatim. I'm feeling like my emotions are gonna get in the way. And I'm gonna say, because so many times, if they don't lay it out the way you just did, Kelvin, they shouldn't ask. Because a lot of times they're asking the question because they already know.
Uh-huh.
They ain't exclusive and they ain't together, or they wouldn't be asking the question because you would have made it perfectly clear.
Right, and understand this: when it comes to men, men like a situation just how he likes it. And a man will be get real comfortable quickly. And if your first date ended up in his back seat, it's logical for him to think your next date is going to end up back at his place between the sheets. And then if it happened to be on Thursdays, you become the Thursday night girl. That's how you become the Thursday night girl. Because it started off in a way, and men put the cues together. We put them clues together. One plus one equals twos, and 2 plus 2 equals 4. Oh, okay, got that. Very basic. And
What's so funny is most women are thinking, oh, that was a special one-off. That was a special occasion. I was feeling you. I was in the moment.
What you did was create a pattern.
Precedent.
Yes, a precedent. And and men are good at following patterns, but not necessarily good at getting you what it is you want. All right, you guys. Look, I wish I could answer some more of those questions, but our time is up. Look, go to lovecoachatlanta@gmail.com. Let me run the banner up in her. Let me run the banner. Yes, if you want to book a session with me one-on-one, I'll put you on the list, on the waiting list. We'll reach out. We'll help you get the love that you desire, help you with a strategy, help you with a plan, help you to get what you actually want and what you deserve. So book a session right now. Go to lovecoachatlanta@gmail.com. Book your session, and we'll reach out from there. All right. All right, you guys. Thank y'all so much for being here. Till next time. Peace and love. Later.